Great. Nice to have you here, Richard. What we do, if you haven't been to a FrameFest before, it's really a very informal kind of on conference style. So the idea is we just sort of quickly introduce each other, and then once they're introduced, introduce yourself to the group, and then what sort of thing, if it's something you'd like to talk about or a particular question, then we go through that, and then we kind of finish at the hour. I have to apologize today. I have to leave early, but Nick is here for the whole duration. So I'll start, and then we'll just sort of go round, kind of left, round. If we do it sort of kind of clockwise, that all should work based on where you're sitting. You have to put that out. My name is Toby. I've been working in. Well, I've been playing around with Frame for, yes, also sort of. That's now 7 years. I sort of discovered the platform. I think also with Verbella, and I've my main use of it right now is I use it for a monthly meetup with Christian tech leaders, and we use it to meet up, and I'm really enjoying using it in that context. Okay, so I'll now pass on to Himena. I think it's you next, and then Nick.
Me? Okay, well, I'm Nick Zwart. I live in the Netherlands. Um, I've been working with Frame now for about 6 years, 5, 6 years. I do work with several universities in Europe, and so we use Frame actually for the students that they can work together on a topic, and because we have students from different countries, they can gather in a virtual environment, and that's very nice. Only some of the, like for instance, in the project I'm now in, we have a university in Greece, and they have a very bad connection on Wi-Fi. So we have a lot of problems with the students over there. So I'm trying to solve this. But for the rest, it's really great to have students running around and do assignments and talk about topics that they like, and we do the research on it, and I do the technical stuff, of course. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, Himena.
Yes, sorry, I thought you was here earlier. I am Jimena. I work for Frame for almost 5 years now. I am 3D in the 3D part, and also I'm doing a bit of UI UX now as well. So yeah, and I work with both.
Great to have you with us. Thanks, Himena. Okay, so next is who have we got? Paul from Frame. I think you're next, and then Rob.
Sure. I'm Paul from Frame. I work on the art, 3D, the tech art, currently doing new avatar stuff. And yeah, I've been here for 5 years as well, I think. Yeah, have a blast. I like doing community outreach stuff as well.
Great, thanks for coming along, Rob.
Yeah, my name's Rob Morgan. I teach set design for theater. I'm a scenographer at Washington University in St. Louis, Missouri in the US. And I do a lot of both teaching and also experimenting with musicals in Frame. And there's a link on the chat, I believe, that I dropped in there earlier called XR Theater Experiments, excuse me. They are also experiences.
And, that's amazing. This is the first I've heard of musicals being done in here, and I am here for it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, and I've had a lot of help, Paul, from Gabe Baker specifically. He's been great.
Oh, fantastic!
Along the way, you know, and so yeah, a woman named Mary Stewart David got her PhD in this area just recently, and so I've been working with her as her designer, and then we've brought singers in and played around with what Frame can do when it comes to virtual theater opportunities.
Amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Very good. Okay, so now let's do Karen, and then Kurt, and then Richard, and finally Paul M. Okay. Karen, can't quite hear you if you're speaking. Oh well, it's not working for Cam. If it works later, that's fine. Let's go to Kurt and then Richard.
Okay. I'm in the Boston area, and I'm a Unity developer, and I've been using Frame for quite a while, and lately I've been using it more for as a prototyping platform to bring people in to share ideas. And recently I created a splat that was to represent what we lost in Horizon Workrooms, and the splat came out pretty interesting from what I liked. And I'll put a post in the chat for what the splat location is. But again, I love Frame. It works very easily. It's very compatible across, using WebXR and everything. It's great working across different platforms and stuff. So, thank you.
Okay, super. So I think Karen's working. Karen's microphone's working now. Karen.
Yes, yes. Sorry about that. My system sometimes decides to mute my mic for me, and I don't know until I try. Yeah, I've been working and playing in Frame for a long time now. I love it, and it's been great to see how it has developed. I'm one of the co-founders and the leader of the XR Women community, and we use Frame in a number of ways, including for our XR Women Art Museum, and which is at FrameVR.io/XR Women Museum. And I encourage you all to pop in there and have a look at the incredible artwork that's on display there now. And so yeah, so that is great. But I've also done some work in trying to help faculty learn or understand how they can use Frame environments to create lessons and all the different sorts of rich multimedia assets that can be placed into the space to facilitate that learning. Yeah, so I'm a big fan, and I'm glad to be here to learn more about what others are doing and expand my knowledge. Thanks for hosting this.
Super. Thanks, Karen. Richard.
Hey, I'm Richard from Albuquerque, New Mexico in the United States, and Kurt invited me to this meeting because he just recently introduced me to Frame.
Great. Lovely to have you with us. Thank you. And finally, Paul M.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm Paul. I'm based in Brussels, Belgium, and I occasionally use Frame with my online classes on Wednesdays. I haven't used it recently, but I thought I'd catch up and check in to see what I'm missing, any of the updates.
Super. Thanks for coming. Great. So we now this so if anyone's got specific questions that they kind of come with, so there's a few there. That's one from Paul, which would be to hear the latest updates. So that would be a good one to hear. What are the updates? What else does anybody come with, sort of questions or thoughts? Nick, I know that you've been working with the API recently, and that would be something that would be interesting, I think, to hear a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to upload a PDF first to show you. So on the main stage page, the main stage page.
Okay, great. So, Paul from Frame, would you be willing? Would you be able to sort of let us know some of the updates and things that you guys have all been working on?
Oh yeah. So there's some really cool stuff. One of the things we're switching to is we're updating to the latest version of Vue on the back end, and that might give us a lot more flexibility as to how we can present information. And then I have been working tirelessly on getting our avatars updated so that our standard human avatars have actual hands with thumbs instead of paddles, and necks. We're getting necks, and it's fun.
Wow.
Yeah, people have been asking for Next for a long time, and we figured out how to do it within the shader of the human avatar, because the Ready Player Me's, they have the Next, but they don't have the like looking around support that our standard avatars do, and they are also nowhere near as efficient. That's why when we have big scenes of 1,600 people, we don't have RPMs, and with the RPM shutdown, we've also had to very much limit the RPM. So this kind of brings our current avatars back into that space. And there are more like technical back-end things, but I would have to go ask Dan. There are also some cool things kind of on the further horizon, like golf. And then we've got some more surprises. I mean, we are doing some really cool things, and some of the things oh yeah, we also have info buttons. So one of the things that we've heard the community that loves being able to make the action editor items to where things are interacting with you on the scene, but that the action editor can be a bit difficult, a bit unwieldy, and so we're trying to, with our procedural assets, make assets that are easier to bring out into the world, and you don't have to code them as hard as you do with the current action editor. It's mostly just drag. Going through this massive technical project.
Very good. Very good. That sounds exciting. Any questions for Paul on that? What he's just. I kind of want to know more about the golf, obviously, but what other questions?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I should, but
Yeah.
like it's one of those where we've seen it
Thinking about.
internally.
Yeah.
Our guy Andy has done that, and it's really good. Like it interacts with the environment as is. But yeah, I'm very hyped for that.
That's cool.
Will that work in VR?
As far as I know, there shouldn't be any restrictions on it.
Cool.
And just generally, where I mean, it's quite useful to have a sort of, I mean, stick to what you've probably already put on your blogs and things. But do you have a sort of a sense of state of the frame? And obviously, we've heard quite a lot of news recently, and actually, I think Frame mentioned it in their LinkedIn post that Spatial was sort of closing their creative studio, and obviously Rec Room's gone. There's a sort of, I've heard it termed the the VR winter. What do you have any kind of comments on terms of where Frame is seeing why is it, it's great that it's still standing, but also what you see as the opportunity and what others perhaps are missing?
Yeah, so one of the big reasons for Frame's stability is because our connection with our parent company, EXP World, is just a really, really strong one, and we're getting so much love and support from them to where we're consistently going in there and helping set up those offices and set up those big experiences for people to connect, to get work done on the like real estate side, for them to get be able to answer their questions. I think one of the things that a lot of people misunderstood with the metaverse was they went after the kind of the gamers, and we went after more corporate and more educational like avenues. So another thing that we've seen, especially with things like spatial, is that they kept pushing and pushing for cooler technology, for putting more and more into it, when we came back and said, how do we make this most efficient? How do we make this mobile friendly? And then how do we take that and make it work for a functional environment as opposed to just an expressive one? So we kept pushing on those in those realms, and in that way we've had we've had our successes. We are definitely sad to see spatial go. See, Rob, um, we're sad to see spatial go. We're sad to see any one of those platforms go. We want those places to succeed, and we want to see like the metaverse thrive. But in whatever we can do, we've been erring on the side of functional, erring on the side of corporate, and that strategy has worked out for us so far.
Yeah. Great. Thanks. Thank you, Paul. Does anyone else have
Yeah.
questions for Paul?
No, I don't have a question, but I'll make a comment, which is
Great.
that yeah, of course, it's really sad to see all these platforms shutting down, but I really hope that Frame will hang in there and see it as really sort of the best option out there in terms of the different features and the accessibility. I think it's just amazing, and I think that it will continue to be successful and will grow. I hope maybe there's a bit of a consolidation going on. Some other users from some other platforms will, I hope, come here and find a home, a place to do what they were doing in other spaces. So yeah, right behind you all. Hope it happens that way.
That's good. Very good. Okay. Nick, would you like to? I know you've been playing around with the API recently. Would you like to show us what you've been up to?
Yeah, sure.
Thank
Well,
you.
so I've put it on the main straight screen. So if you click on the picture, then you can zoom in, and then you can see it better, of course. I've been working on some API, and I really was a bit. I had very big problems with API because I didn't know how to work with it. Luckily, Frame has some great pages that explain it, like this page, and also the examples, the things that you can run in the on the frame automation stuff, and try things. But I've thought, well, what should I want to make? And then suddenly Toby came up with a place where he wanted boards with text on it, and he wanted also that people could change the text without being technical. So I thought, well, then we could maybe do something with the API to change the text in the text area. So I looked what the API of the text areas could do, and there was a lot of stuff in there, but there's also a line called text. And I say, well, if I can edit this text through API, that would be great. So I started looking around, and the idea was to change the text from a text area asset using a web page. And so that meant that I had to know to get the information from the text area using API, and then it should show the text in a HTML or a PHP form, and then I could patch it back to the text area when it's changed. That's what I did. So I went into this page of Frame where they told me, oh, you have to do this and you have to do that and so on. And I really couldn't find a way to do that and create it in a HTML or a PHP page. So I asked ChatGPT. I said, make this code into a PHP or C URL page, and that's what it did. So this came up, and I got a response, which is at the bottom. All info from the text area came out as a response, but I only wanted the text area, of course. So I filtered out the text, this text, and then I created this thing here. It's the text on a text area and a green button below. And if people click on the green button, the button will send you to a embedded overlay page. And maybe you haven't worked with it yet, but normally when you click on the green button, then there is a question: do you want to open this? And then you get open link, and then at the left of your screen you see change text. There you can change the text into anything you like, press on submit, and then this text will be changed on this area without being a programmer or whatever. So everybody can do this. And it worked. And when this worked, I've now created this one. The blue one is also in where you are now. It's at the left side of the next to the stage. So you can all try it and use it and see if this works. And the only thing that I use is just one PHP file that does everything. So when you click on the button, it loads the text from the text area, and then you can edit it and submit it, and then the text is sent back to the text area asset. And if you want to make another edit, you just edit again and press submit. This works. So when I finally got this working, I thought, well, maybe we can do more with it, because it would also be nice to have a message board. So for another project, I created a message board, and here people have to fill in the name and a message, and then they can click submit. But then the message will appear at the top of the list on the message board. So the messages that are already there, they will stay, and there will be another message at the top, including the date, which is automatically generated. I also created this version at in this area. Also, you can try it and click on the blue button and see and work with it. And this is really nice, because then you can have some sort of message board. You can also leave out the date if you don't want that, but this is just an example what you can do with the API, and it works really fast and smart. And the last thing that I've created with the same system is a scoreboard. And the scoreboard is in a project for students, and they had to do a scavenger hunt on an island or an area. And then after they did the scavenger hunt, they had a final password sentence. And with this final password sentence, they could enter this small area where you see my avatar now, and fill in and click on the button and fill in their information. And this works actually the other way around, because here number one will always be at the top. And if somebody else is number 7 and he clicks on the green button and leaves his name, then it will be added below this list of people. Yes, somebody is clicking. And that's it. What I've been done so far. The only thing that I would really like, but maybe in future that can happen, is that I don't have to fill in the name anymore, but because clicking the button doesn't read the name of the user. But that would be great if that was possible also in future. So they only have to fill in the message, and the name will be automatically added to it. Well, that's what I've done so far in with the API. I done some more stuff, but that's not very interesting at the moment. So, and the two blue things, screens, are at the left of this stage. So you can always have a try and see if it works for you. Are there any questions?
Yeah, Nick, can I
My
ask you a
English is
question?
not that good. I'm sorry.
Okay, Nick, can you hear me?
Yeah, who is
Okay,
that?
it's Kurt. Hi.
Oh yeah, good.
Um, is there a concept between local and global for those messages where, like, if you needed a student to get something only to the teacher that not everybody else could see, to pass a message along, like the answer to a question or something, but not let everybody else know it? Could that be done?
No,
You don't think so? Okay.
no.
All
It
right.
was already quite difficult for me because of the scavenger hunt. I didn't want everybody to see
The
the
answer.
list of
Right.
and the answers. So I hid them so you could also only see all the information when you're in the voice area.
Okay.
So you can,
Oh, so you hit it that way. Okay.
yeah, that was
Okay.
the way to hide it.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And then, is this persistent between coming back and forth to the space, or does it disappear after a while?
No, it stays.
It does stay. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
great.
So what it does actually, it just reads what's on the on the text area. It reads it and then sends it back again.
Okay,
So and it's not deleted. If you want to delete it yourself, then as the admin, you just go into the asset and then delete the list. So that's
okay.
possible.
So only did you make it so only admin has that capability, or can anybody delete?
No, only the admin. But I
Okay,
can create a button that that you can have that you can delete also, because then I just send a text with only a space bar, a space or something.
right, right. Okay,
So that's possible.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Such a cool use for Frame. I like. I love it. I love seeing this kind of stuff.
Yeah, thank you. Toby, you've been playing with it already.
Yeah, it works. It works really well. You can go and push. I recommend trying it. So you can change the text. It works exactly as you said in your demo. Well done. Really good.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
it feels very natural. I think it's interesting, isn't it? I think there's something about the open link piece that kind of slightly breaks the what's it breaks the user experience, because you're suddenly like, but I mean, quite a lot of platforms have that nowadays, that you're going elsewhere, you're going somewhere dangerous. But
Yeah,
um, I think there's something about um, it's something about kind of the control that the environment owner should have and should be able to have. And I come to your space, Nick, so I trust that I
yeah,
trust everything in this space. So I don't really need. I kind of like the option to just say, yeah, I trust Nick. I don't need a sort of a, do you want to open a web link kind of pop up. But
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
interested whether others feel that it's not a showstopper, and you do get used to it. It's just a bit unusual.
yeah. And Paul of Frame, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because I would really like this web page to open in the middle of the screen. Because now it's always at the left bottom, and it would be great if something like this opens in the middle. Also, when you use, for instance, embedded video, YouTube videos, it would be great that if you click on it, that you can have it in the middle instead of at the left bottom.
I will make a note of that, and I can bring it up to the devs.
Yeah. Well, if it's not possible, it's okay. That's no problem. But it would be great, because normally you always work in the middle of your screen and then suddenly you have to go to the left bottom. It's a bit weird for me.
Sure. We always take these kinds of suggestions to heart, and try to do
Yeah.
whatever's feasible.
Okay.
Yeah. Very good. Right. What else is on? We don't have any other agenda items. So, um, we can we can we can I mean I yeah, I don't have any other agenda items today. I mean, I can I gave did actually give a presentation on Frame at a big conference in Thailand last week, and I was on the it was quite interesting sharing the FrameVR IO link and then saying to everybody in the room, and so suddenly the whole room, it all filled up with lots of robots. And actually, it was great, and people got the vibe and things. And I think there's something about just sharing it with people in a room and getting that sort of initial feedback. And I suppose this is a very open question, really, and I think someone mentioned it earlier about I think it was Karen was saying that Frame is very good good as a platform because it's quite accessible. And I just wondered, do you perhaps we've got someone here who's new to Frame, Richard? You know, what are your first thoughts? What do you hear from people when they first come to Frame? Because I think that onboarding experience is so important, and any sort of tips and ideas that people have for bringing people in early, I'm really interested here because it that to me is one of the kind of the pieces that I'm the missing pieces I think is how do you get how does it appear at first and how do you get people into it when it's something that's particularly for adults. I think kids it's not the same. Kids have no problem. They know what WAS and D are meant to do. That's what those keys are for. They're for nothing else. Whereas for us adults, it's there's that kind of, oh, what have I got to do? So I just wonder if anybody's got any tips or thoughts on that whole kind of onboarding and coming into Frame for the first time experience. Can you remember how it was for you, for example?
Richard, can you hear us?
Yeah, was he
Yeah, he's
asking me
directing it to you
asking me specifically?
as a new user. Yes, as a new user, just coming in. What was your experience?
Well, because I'm coming from the Quest VR headset, coming into the 2D version of the PC computer side, so playing around with the WASD is a new experience for me because I'm not a gamer and haven't been a gamer for ever and ever and ever and ever. So that was something to get learned to and be able to use the mouse plus the keys at the same time to be able to navigate around inside the Frame VR set. But it's pretty impressive, and it kind of reminds me. Initially, it reminded me of the whole Teams mesh and the Teams immersive spaces, and trying to get through the stage there. So it kind of everything carries over. But I've been impressed with the graphics and been impressed with the ability to do the share screen and the what Kurtz has showed me around. And I love the fact to be able to click on a seat or click on the seat button and immediately seats you in a chair. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Richard. That's helpful.
Fantastic. And we have that new or fairly new feature now where if you log in and it's like a new login, then there's like a little pop-up that comes up and gives you kind of a walkthrough of like what the controls and functionality are. But once you've dismissed it, then it doesn't come back.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Well, we had I had one interesting piece of feedback from someone. See whether everybody else has heard this, which was that that once people had put their avatars in, they'd put the effort of doing the avatars. That was an unlock for him. So we were coming to the meeting, the monthly meeting, but quite a few people hadn't bothered. They were just appearing as robots. But it was only once people actually put the effort into making their avatar. That then it became much more of a kind of an engaging and useful experience. And I just thought that was really interesting that the sort of that there's something about there's something sort of very basic about. I mean, everybody here is a bit of a pro, so we've all got avatars, but there's something about you don't really want to be in a room full of robots.
That's super interesting to hear. It makes sense because like then you're putting that time and effort into a like involvement. I love it.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Well, I mean, these are very, very relaxing things. What I suggest now we've got for those who we've got another sort of 10 minutes or so. maybe we haven't tried this before, but I've always wanted to try it, which would be just to sort of break off into 2s and 3s and maybe kind of chat. If there was somebody who you wanted to have a sort of a personal individual chat with, just as we would if this was a live bar or thing, just go and maybe wander around Nick's space, go and try his machine together with someone else, and let's make that the sort of the downtime part of the FrameFest. If you're all in agreement, let's do that and just sort of wander around and maybe have a one-on-one chat with somebody who.
Yeah, and that's just as a reminder, you can or if I don't know how the permissions are in this frame, but one-on-one voice zones can just be created anywhere.
Oh, okay. Well, we could all try that. I've never tried that. So, how do you create a one-on-one voice zone? I'd like.
Well, you just make a voice zone that'll fit the number of people, and then you can just walk into it.
Okay.
And with voice zones as well, even if there's a voice zone inside of a voice zone, it is the last voice zone that you entered that will be the one that you're in.
Okay. So how do we try it then? Go on, Paul. Talk us through it. So should we go over to that space behind the thing?
Yeah, sure. Let's go over this way.
Let's try it. Nothing like trying it, is there? Okay, here we go. Right. So we go to this big space. So if everyone comes over to this space here, so how do you create a voice zone with somebody?
So now it will depend. I have global admin, and here I can actually put it up on the screen back here, or here. I'll make a screen creation menu, streaming screen, and then and I'll set this a little bit further back and up. And then I'll go into share screen and do what I call frameception. Yeah. So everyone can see me. Yeah. Then we go over here into creation menu, and then we go into voice zone, and our voice zones.
Oh, we're in one.
Oh yeah, yep. I popped it.
I'll
pull it away. Okay. Our voice zones. Now, I also think this one is thanks to Andy. Now we can do rotations and whatnot, so that they can line up perfectly. I think that we didn't have that before. And now there's just your voice zone, and then you can name it, and then even these names, like you can send people to them so that when they come into the space, they come right into the voice zone. So these you can just plug and play, or you can have them be the voice zone in the room. And like that's all there is to it. Pop out of edit mode, and it exists over there.
Yes, I have one question, Paul.
Yeah.
Because when I look at this frame settings and then it says enable private voice zones. I just enabled it, but then there is a sub tag also environment zones and custom user zones.
Yeah. So this is a new thing for us. Where our environments, the environments that we build have voice zones built into them, so that you don't have to go in and set that up for every single office that you're going to. If you have an office environment, you're going to want voice zones in general. You're going to want voice zones in that space, but then users wanted more granular control to where if they want to not use the suggested voice zones, but they want to use only the voice zones that are brought in, like the one that I just did. Now we have the opportunity for that. So yeah, it's you can turn off all voice zones, which is good sometimes if you've had breakout sessions, or you want to start in a normal session and then turn into a breakout session. You can toggle all of them on, or you can say I'm going to just toggle off the ones that came with the environment, so it's just the ones that are brought in, so that we have that control.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Thanks.
Absolutely.
And they still, if you're playing audio in a voice zone, no one else will hear it, right?
Yep. And if you have an asset that has audio, then you have to make sure to make that asset private to that zone. Otherwise, they might be able to hear it outside of that.
Okay.
So Karen and I somehow I created a voice zone, and she suddenly pulled into it, and now I don't. She was giving a not really good point, but I don't know whether no one could hear her. I don't know, Karen. Are you now back in this voice zone?
I see
No.
a different icon around her,
Yeah.
which it's
Oh,
weird.
interesting.
What's that icon? I don't know.
So that icon means that they can't hear you. That's normally a voice, one that pops up if they're in a voice zone that's other than the one that they're in. So it's just like you should be able to see that icon if they're further away from you, so that you know that they can't hear you. It is interesting. I am seeing that not going away. If you actually can't hear, then reload is probably going to be your best bet, but I'm going to make a note of this.
Yeah. So I think I pulled her into a voice zone, and then I deleted the voice zone, but she's still stuck in it. That's what I think's happened.
She has to walk in and out the voice zone.
Well,
You
she's
did that.
tried
Yeah,
that, but
maybe if
I
uh,
already told in the text, but yeah, there she goes.
or yeah,
She's out.
walking out and in.
Yeah, and walk back in.
Okay, when
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, there's
Now.
Karen.
yeah,
Okay.
okay,
Now.
walking out and back in.
All right. All right. Okay.
That's a super interesting edge case, deleting the voice zone while a person's in it.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can make a note for that.
sorry, breaking the system.
Yeah, well, it's good to break the system when somebody from Frame is here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
and I mean that's one of the big reasons why, like, I come out to these things. Users will think of things that we haven't seen or haven't had the time to really put into. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and the voice zones I think are such a great feature. But again, as I said in my comment in the chat, sometimes the pre-populated ones just didn't work, and so for various reasons.
Agree.
Yeah.
And so
That's
that
interesting.
ability to toggle them on and off was much appreciated, and then to be able to create the custom ones. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And I can tell you that for the scavenger hunt that I did, several items I just hid in voice zones that they couldn't get into, or so that's really also a great feature to hide
Yeah.
stuff
So is
when
it
there's
possible?
hunting.
Yeah, is it possible to create a voice booth? Because when I've had events before where someone's wanted to suddenly go into a personal chat and then not allow anyone else into their voice zone, is that
Yes,
possible?
You
Yeah.
you can lock your voice zone,
you
and
can
they
lock
will
the
not
voice zone.
physically be able to get to enter it.
Got
Nice,
it.
nice.
Okay, so there are two types. That's interesting.
Well, it's not a
So,
second
same
type.
type. It's a
It's the
setting.
same
Yeah.
type. You can just
Yeah.
if you have the permission to, then you'll get a little lock in the bottom UI bar. And
Uh-huh.
once you toggle that lock, then that room is locked, and you can even password protect them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did
Okay.
in the scavenger hunt. I just put a password on one of the voice zones, so nobody could get in unless they
Yeah.
knew the right password. And you can even use whole sentences with spaces in it. It works fantastic.
That's really
Oh,
good.
great. Oh, so that could be the answer is the password.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you could even have like a warp zone in there, so that like if if they get the right answer, then they can warp on to the next zone.
Right. Yeah. That's really so you can really make games out of this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well.
Yeah, and or just more immersive experience or more interactivity in the experience, whether it's a game or it doesn't. It's just
Yeah.
there's some. Yeah, it's leveraging this environment.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to when you can just do additional things that you can't necessarily do in real life. It's quite interesting, and and certainly being different from Zoom is really important. So it's what is it that this allows us to do as adults in terms of how we communicate and interact that we can't do. And I think this is great, and I do like the agency that you give of giving the actual participants the ability to create the voice zone. I think that's really powerful.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
one of the things is we keep finding clients using things in ways that we didn't expect. We now have Frame in courtrooms, where it's really important to have certain documents be private, but be have the space accessible, and so like those password protections and the various spaces that you can prove that in was so important for them, and we didn't even know about that until they were already using it, so it wasn't like a requested feature.
Huh.
Oh,
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
fascinating.
it was requested by someone from a different area. Yeah.
Different use case. Yeah, super interesting.
Hey, Paul, do you use your webcam at all?
I do use my webcam sometime, but the laptop that I'm currently using, the webcam's busted. But
Okay.
yeah, do you have any questions on that?
No, it's just to show Richard. He hadn't seen it, so he's a new user. So I didn't know if anybody was willing to show their webcam or not. Mine doesn't
I can
work.
do.
Oh, you can? Okay.
There I am.
Yeah, I don't.
Hello all.
I could check.
Well, where are you?
I'm on the
Yeah, so
screen,
There you
the
go.
big screen.
Okay. Now, can you put it next to your avatar too?
Yeah, that's no
Yep.
problem.
So if you see,
So
if you turn to your right, Richard, you can see him. He's got the
where's
webcam
Richard?
next to him.
I'm going to stand in
Here he
front of
is.
Richard.
Okay.
Hello, Richard.
We're all wandering in.
Yep.
That's
Hey,
cool.
yeah, it's a neat feature. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I,
Okay.
it's something that other platforms don't have, and I just thought that was interesting. How you can play with that, and then, I remember Gabe was playing with green screen features too. That was pretty interesting. And then
Yeah, that looks nice too. Yeah.
but yeah, it's
Yep,
great.
yep. We've got like the blur behind you. We got all those camera effects.
Yeah.
Oh, have you? Okay, interesting.
Yeah, if you go into your audio-visual settings.
Oh,
Okay.
I was just thinking, Paul, we should make those little side planes clickable and zoomable.
Yeah, we've had some discussions on like the fact that they're like to the side and you have to be in front of a person. So we're thinking about like making them like billboard as opposed to just being in a facing angle for that person.
Yeah, and
And
the
then
ratio's off too. We'll have to fix that. Looks like
sure.
we're rendering one by
Yeah.
one, and nobody's
How
webcams are
how
one by one. So
no? How far are you away from making the avatar move when the move according? So if I move my hands in the webcam, my avatar will move.
We were doing some of those
Oh,
kinds
you
of
were?
things.
yeah. It
We're
was
doing
there.
the
that's
same.
not too
Yeah.
bad to do, actually. Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Because
It doesn't have to be. But
we did have some like expressive features and
Yeah,
stuff too.
with the facial expressions. I remember that. Yeah.
mm,
The
yeah,
camera.
amazing. Thanks. Oh look, there we go. Andy's
Yep.
clapping. Yeah, good.
This
Yeah.
is-
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just asking. I mean, I don't know. It's difficult. You just don't quite know. But I'm just trying to think what does a normal normal end user how they wouldn't necessarily. I don't know. I think that I don't actually think that the whole webcam thing is all that interesting because I'm trying to leave behind the webcam world where I'm my head is trapped in a box, and I like the avatar. So I find having both a bit kind of like a bit of a kind of a bit weird. It's a bit like cars that would how do you design a car? In 1920 you make it look like a carriage with a horse with no horses on it, and there's an element of that for me. This is the next stage, but certainly something which but I get that people want to be able to see each other, so it's quite useful in the early days. But
Well,
I've
it's
not
like
found that
Zoom,
we
right?
use it. Yeah, yeah,
It's like Zoom, and then if you go into the that last button at the bottom of your screen, it says open in flat mode.
In
Then you're
flat
looking at
mode,
like
yeah.
a Zoom meeting. Then
yeah,
Yeah.
you can
I,
go.
I think having the option to turn on your video cameras is great. I think people do like that, and being able to do both. I mean, sometimes people prefer to
Yeah.
stay behind their avatar, and in other cases, it's really good to be able to see someone's face. So I think this is a
Yeah.
great feature to be able to do both as you choose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we in the project that I work for with my students in Europe, they really want to show the webcams because the topics that they are talking about are really personal or about environments and stuff, and they don't want to hide behind the avatar. They want to see the webcam.
Yeah.
That's why it's there. It's great.
Fantastic.
Very good. Well, we're at the hour. Please feel free to carry on conversations. I'm going to shoot off, make supper. But lovely to see everybody again, and great to see FrameFest. And it's just great to be together with you all. And thank you all for your input and coming with ideas and questions. And I look forward to the next one. Thank you.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thanks for putting this on, Toby.
Yeah.
The next one will be in September. 14th of September or so.
Great.
Yeah,
We'll put
thank
that
you
on the
all.
Discord.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks all. This was great.
Hey, thanks.
And I'm hoping to make these API stuff on our website to put it there how I did it, and also the PHP scripting so that you can everybody can use it.
Super
Okay,
cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, I'm heading out. Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Have a good one. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye bye.